Welcome back to Growing Quality. My name is Elian and I look for stocks which are growing their moats. Now, in today's video, I will start off with a little portfolio update. I do this every week and then I will go onto Reddit because Reddit has plans to IPO and last Monday more became clear about that. And then finally, we're taking a look at what's happening in the EV market because there's a bunch going on and we'll see what the status is there. Okay, so then let's start off by looking at my portfolio. This portfolio resembles the style I want to go for. It's a mixture between quality stocks, companies which have massive growth in front of it, and also some turnaround plays, as in PayPal and Mphase. This portfolio does carry some risk, as Rivian is not profitable, for example, and Monday has just turned a profit but is trading at a very high valuation. As for Mphase, the company is losing revenues due to higher interest rates. So these are all risks you have to take into account when looking at this portfolio. Now, starting off at PayPal, which has traded up some 7% for the week. This came as PayPal announced another new executive to the company. This executive will be responsible for global financial crimes, fraud prevention programs, regulatory and government relations, and risk and compliance management. His name is Aaron J. Webster, and he came over from SoFi, where he held the position of Chief Risk Officer. This is very good news in my opinion, as PayPal keeps improving and keeps renewing the executives. I will go into more detail on it on a video I will release on Wednesday, as I will dive into PayPal stock more deeply. I actually wanted to do that this week, but due to being sick, it didn't get so far. Now then we get to Ferrari. The company is just very stable. It's trading at a higher multiple, but this is due to the qualities of the stock and the predictableness of it. Now, this week Ferrari did get a downgrade. It actually happened yesterday, but it didn't affect the stock whatsoever. I think it traded down about 20 basis points. So then we get to Mphase. The stock got absolutely wrecked. And for good reason, because it seems that inflation is more sticky. Now, is this a reason for me to panic? No, because I know this of the company and I know that this is a risk I have to deal with. And I made a choice to deal with it. So how will I move forward with it? Well, very simple actually. I want to accumulate a position as it's bottoming out. Enphase in its latest earnings call told us that they see signs of bottoming in Europe as well as in America except for California. Now, of course, this is their biggest market, but it's positive that they see signs of bottoming. So what will I do with this stock? I will just keep adding to it, trying to catch somewhat of the bottom as it's rounding out. So then we go to Monday. Monday has done not that much this week, especially not for this stock. Now, the company did say that it filed a mixed shelf. However, in my opinion, this is done for any acquisitions the company is planning to do, as they did signal in their Q3 earnings call from 2023 that they were looking to do some acquisitions this year. So that's what I think this shelf will be used for, and not to dilute shareholders. So then let's look at Moody's. Well, nothing really happened there. Company is just, well, basically flat on the week. And so is S&P Global. There's not much going on there. They just do their thing and it's waiting for them to pick a direction. So then we get to the final stock of Rivian. And this is where it gets interesting, because Rivian, like Mphase, is down about 15% over the week. And why did this happen? Well, for Rivian, it's quite simple actually, because the EV market has not been doing well. There's a bunch of things going on with Tesla. And then there's Fisker, who apparently hired advisors in order to see what the options are regarding a possible bankruptcy filing. So on that last news about Fisker, Rivian also dropped 8% yesterday as the company is not profitable. However, the stock is up today in pre-market about 4% as they got another analyst upgrade. It does seem that Rivian is looking to get to the other side of this mess and is still planning on becoming profitable or turning a profit at the end of 2024. Now, this does require some monitoring, of course, but we will see what is going to happen there and adjust accordingly. So let's dive into this week's news, starting off with Reddit's IPO. because we got updates about that last Monday. Now, this article from CNN gives us more insight into the plans of the Forums page. Some of the highlights from this article include that the company has not turned a profit in its 19-year history. And it's crazy to me how this is possible, as it became evident in 2021 when the company also filed for an IPO, that the CEO, Steve Huffman, received a total compensation package of $1.3 billion. And besides the staggering compensation of 2020, the CEO got a compensation package of $193 million in 2023. In my opinion, this has to make investors wonder how the company has had a net loss of about $90 million in 2023. Now, what else became evident? The company has 73 million daily active users, which is more than it had during the 2020 when it also filed for an IPO. At that time, the company wanted to IPO at a $10 billion valuation, while the company now seeks a valuation of $6.4 billion. The IPO will be priced between $31 and $34, and 8% of the IPO shares will be given to the most loyal users of the platform. This is something quite unusual, but it is a concept that I find fitting with the Reddit idea, as the contributors make sure that the company is successful. Redditors had until March 5th to pre-register to buy back the shares for the listing, and what's interesting about these shares is that they do not have a lockup period, so whenever the company IPOs, those shares can be dumped into the markets right away. So then, finally, what's happening in EV land? Because, as mentioned earlier, Fisker has hired advisors for a possible bankruptcy filing, and their stock is down about 98% since the beginning of October. Then we have Lucid, of which the stock is down about 15% from the same point in time. At Lucid, the executives found out that throwing an electric car on the market is a bit more difficult than expected when money is not as cheap as it was during 2020 and 2021. The company burned about $2.5 billion of cash last year, and having such a high cash burn is a bit of a problem when you have less than $4 billion in cash and cash equivalents and short-term investments combined. Now, besides having this cash position, the company has also $2 billion of long-term debt standing against it. So it becomes quite difficult to see a future for this company unless some miracle happens. Now, then we have Tesla, and Tesla has also seen more favorable sentiment than it has in the last few weeks. Analysts have started cutting delivery guidance as China seems to be slow for Tesla. I went into this last week, but it became so bad that company may have negative growth. Besides the delivery problems, interest rates stay high, which is seen as the main pain point for Tesla margins, as they keep on lowering price to fight the problem of more expensive car loans. Now today, news also broke that OpenAI partner Figure posted a video on X where their humanoid robot called the Figure 1 carried out some tasks like sorting dishes while having a conversation. This is another blow to Tesla bulls, as they have been pointing at Optimus as a pathway for growth, as it seems like the cars may be in a bit of a slump. So this brings me to the final point of the EV market, which is the most important one for me personally, and that is Rivian. Now, you know Rivian is an investment of mine, and I spoke a bit about it in the beginning of the video. But Rivian has seen its fair share of issues. Most recently, it has been getting pulled down by the overall EV market. Now today, the company got another analyst upgrade, which have been more frequent last week after the company announced the new R2 and R3 models last week. Together with the reveal of the R2 and R3 models, the company also mentioned that it will start the production of the R2 at their existing manufacturing plant instead of at the new plant which is currently being built, and this would save the company over $2 billion. Now this is also the main reason why the company expects that it will still turn a profit this year. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe.